What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's Thursday, Tune In Thursday, and kind of went a little crazy with some PS1 games. We're gonna go through each and every last one of them. Let's go. So this week I got a pretty big game lot of PS1 games through the Let Go app, and I've used it multiple times before to show you some of the things that I've picked up in past videos. But if you don't know what Let Go is an app where people put, you know, things that they no longer need, things that they no longer want, and they want to sell it. They'll put it on Let Go. It'll search in the local area for whatever type of item that you're looking for, and you go on Let Go, you message the person, hey, is this still available? How much are you charging? If it's too high, you can kind of negotiate them down sometimes, and you set up a meet, and you go pick the stuff up. I mean, it's carefree, it's easy, it's perfect, and I've gotten some really good pickups through Let Go, and this is no different, actually. So without further ado, let's go ahead and show you what PS1 games I was able to pick up through Let Go. The first game is Toy Story 2, which is something that I really wasn't looking forward to in this batch of games, but you know, it's a game that I used to play when I was a kid, so I remember it. I remember Toy Story 1 and I remember Toy Story 2. Toy Story 1, I believe, may have been on the Super Nintendo. It's been that long since Toy Story came out, but yeah, I mean, that's a game that I probably won't play anytime in the future. The next one is like an open case game. Didn't have the actual case, but it's Destruction Derby 2. So this is a game that I would consider a Friday night rental, especially when you're a kid. And most of you, if you're under the age of maybe 25, maybe 25, 21, something like that, you probably have no clue about Blockbuster, about, you know, Hollywood Video, and going to the video store on Friday after school to pick up a weekend rental, you know, to play games, split screen with your friends, and just spend the whole night, you know, playing video games, eating pizza, enjoying life, you know, because that's what we did as kids back then. And Destruction Derby is one of those Friday night rental games that you play with your friends on a Friday night to kill time and just have fun. Man, if I could go back and have some of those nights, I would definitely do it. The next open box game that I have is the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It's missing the booklet, but everything else is still the same. I have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 back here on this shelf, but I did not have the original. And the original, to me, is the best of them all. But THPS 2 is also a decent game. Not taking anything away from Part 2. It was amazing, but Part 1 was everything. I mean, everybody was playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater back in the 90s. Actually, when did this come out? 1999, 2000. So yeah, at the turn of the millennium, everybody was playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I mean, he really put, you know, skateboarding on the map with that game. Even if you weren't into skateboarding, you were playing Tony Hawk. Next game I have is a sports game. It's MLB Triple 2000. I don't know who's on the cover. Not really excited about it, but I'm looking at the case and it shows aggressive gameplay and real emotion. Yeah. We're gonna move on from that one. Because we have another sports game, which is NCAA March Madness, which is all of the college teams. I'm not a big college ball fan either, so we're gonna move on from that one. Sports games just don't get me that excited, but I did pick them up. They are part of this batch. Jam Pack. Does anybody remember the Jam Packs? All these playable demos. And you know what? I just pulled out a lot of Xbox demos from the Xbox official magazines. I found them in a tote downstairs in the basement, and I want to plug those bad boys in and play them, but I don't have an original Xbox. Kind of don't have the space for it. But let's see, what's on here? Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Year of the Dragon, Cool Borders, Disney's 102 Dalmatians, NFL Madden 2001, Spider-Man, Army Men Air Attack 2, Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. Another great game was Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. And Sydney 2000. So this was winter of 2000, because you know they did it every season. So, yeah. Tetris Plus. Whenever I think of Tetris, I think of Nintendo. I can't say that I've ever played Tetris on any other system other than Nintendo and maybe on my Xbox Live Arcade. Never on PlayStation. I just can't do it. I can't play Tetris on a PlayStation. I can't do it. And I won't. That'll just go on the shelf and be a part of my collection. Lara Croft's Tomb Raider 2. Did I say Lara Croft's? Lara Croft Tomb Raider 2. And I actually think it's pronounced Lara Croft is the correct pronunciation for most of you out there who call her Lara. But I already have Tomb Raider 2 on the Sega Dreamcast, I believe. I think this is going to be a duplicate, but another classic game. Like the Tomb Raider franchise is classic, always will be. Now let's get into the last 4 cool pickups, or cool pickups in my opinion. The first one is Wing Commander 2. Now, I vaguely remember this game from the past, my childhood, and when did this come out? This was 1997. So the thing I remember are the videos, because there's actual live action videos for the game. And games like that kind of stand out, because one thing about the PlayStation is that they did have a lot of not all live action video, but a lot of like CGI video, and they were one of the first that I remember to do that. I think Sega did it as well with the Sega Saturn, but PlayStation was like one of the first to actually do that, put actual videos into their games. I mean, Sega Channel did it as well, but Sony did it right. And Sony, you know, hit the nail on the head with the original PlayStation. And this game is a sci-fi. You're flying ships and you're battling, you know, other fleets, similar to like a Star Trek, but yeah, similar to like Star Trek. And this game has 4 discs, I believe. Yeah, 4 discs. It's crazy. Reminds me of Fear Effect, because that was another game that had multiple discs that I loved to play back in the day with friends. Next game is Tekken 2. Now, in last week's video, I had Tekken 7. Here's Tekken 2, which is another game that I remember. Tekken was an amazing game. I always liked to play it on the arcades when I had a chance, but I didn't have a lot of arcades local to me, to my house, so we did have one arcade, but we rarely ever got a chance to go down and play any other games. But Tekken was one of those games that I used to love to try to play on the arcade. I mean, I was bad at it, but always played with King because he was the biggest of everybody. And then you had Paul Phoenix and Jack. I remember all of them. It's so cool. And that brings me to Tekken 3. How lucky am I to have 2 Tekkens, you know, back to back. And then I see Eddie, Jin, Yoshimitsu, Julia, Law. Wow, this brings back some real memories. I was hoping they would be Black Label games, but they're the greatest hits copies. But you know, it's cool. No complaints. I mean, I have the games, and I'm gonna enjoy that. I'm gonna play those. I'm gonna play those at some point very soon. And the very last game, wonder if anybody even remembers this game. Total number 1. If anybody remembers this game, I'll give you something cool in the comments below. Let me know. But Total number 1 is a fighting game. What was unique about this game is that it had a quest mode, and it was cheesy. It was really cheesy. It reminded me of Virtua Fighter a little bit. The engine was similar to a Virtua Fighter, but it was like a mix between Virtua Fighter and Tekken, because you can grab and like take people down and stuff like that, and grab and elbow and punch and stuff. So it was different, a little bit different for its time. But the quest mode is very odd. Like, you run through these dungeons and you jump over these spikes and you fight these weird, like, they're not like mummies, but they're just silly enemies that you fight, and then they make these really weird sounds when you beat them down in the dungeon. So it's a silly game. But Total number 1 was made by Squaresoft, and then it came with a sampler of Final Fantasy VII. And this game does only have 1 disc, but for some reason they decided to put the Final Fantasy disc on the other side, so it makes it look like it's 4 discs when it's only 2. But yeah, I jumped on the chance to pick up this game. That was the main reason that I picked this up, was because of Total number 1 and Wing Commander were the main 2 reasons that I picked up this lot. But I'm very happy with it. I'm going to put them into my collection, and I'm sure I'll be playing Tony Hawk very soon, and definitely Tekken 2 and 3. So once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody. I really do. Please like, please comment, please subscribe to all my videos. Tell your friends. I'm going to jump on a new game streaming schedule. I'm probably going to stream games probably 4 or 5 days a week, because every time that I play a game from here on out, I'm going to stream it. I'm not going to play any video games in the comfort of my own home with just me. I'm going to share everything from here on out. So stay tuned for that. It'll be either be on YouTube Live, or it'll probably be on Twitch, one or the other. Mainly Twitch, because I don't want to flood my YouTube page with a bunch of videos. I'd rather put it somewhere where it's meant to be, which would probably be Twitch, because that's what people are there for. They're there to watch, you know, video gameplay and stuff like that. So thanks again. Until next week and we get some more pickups. Peace.